Three, two, one, zero. Ignition.
Good morning, little listener. Welcome to the wonderful world of universalexports.co, where we cover everything that you may be interested in, from flying, sailing, drone work, walks in Victoria, walks in Australia, interesting interviews from various interesting and uninteresting people. If you've got an interest in astronomy, we're here to help you. Anything on YouTube you'd like to talk about, we can handle that for you. And if you're interested in photography or filmmaking, you've found the right place. Stay tuned and we'll get stuck into it. Starting off with motoring, and here's ones for the books, and really for the books, the Guinness Book of World Records. Jaguar has just released its new SUV, a small E-Pace. This E-Pace is incredible in a lot of different aspects, of which we'll go into a little bit later. But one of the biggest things, when it launched this E-Pace, Jaguar went all out and decided we will launch the vehicle. And launch it did. It is the first time that a normal production vehicle has done a full barrel roll. Literally the biggest barrel roll of any production vehicle. Although it's the smallest SUV in the Jaguar lineup, there was certainly nothing small about the jump performed by the E-Pace to claim the Guinness World Record. The gap between takeoff and landing was a whopping 15.3 metres, or 50 feet to some of you, and the car performed a 270-degree barrel roll in the air as it covered that distance. Walking. We don't have the big rail trail walk to discuss with you this week. We were planning to do that today, but the weather's against us, the car has to be serviced, and any other number of reasons and excuses we weren't able to do it. So our walks in recent times have just been local ones. The Springers Reserve walk behind Springers off Cheltenham Road, which is in near South Springvale. Excellent walk if you get the opportunity. Lots of little places to go in and out. We were lucky enough to see a pair of tawny frogmouths on the last trip through there. A little bit unusual to be able to see those, and very delighted to be able to catch up with it. There's also a number of resident animals that we do catch up with. One in particular is a possum who likes to spend his day in a plastic flower pot. Somebody's put it up in a tree, but every time we go past, he's still there. I think he's alive. We can see his fur, but I must check that next time. The other walk we did is through Braeside Park, which is the south of Dingley area there. We did about a 6.5k 2 days ago through there. A lot of interesting areas there and a lot of history behind that place as well. And one of the biggest men's sheds in the area, I think. In fact, it's a double shed men's shed, and it's so popular you have to be on a waiting list. That's how popular that men's shed is. You can do a self-guided tour or walk through the park area, and it starts at the Telford picnic area and passes through the heathland and lots of picturesque ponds. The first 200 metres of the track is wide, flat and hard-packed gravel, and it leads to the two ponds, and the ponds have great view of the local water birds. Beyond the first two ponds, the trail becomes narrow, and the two smaller wooden bridges would require some assistance, as both surfaces are not very suitable for the standard front casters of most wheelchairs. The bird hides there themselves, or the bird hide that's there, is really well set out, has lots of information about the bird life that's available there, and of course is always a target for the photographers with their long lenses. In fact, on the walk we went through there 2 days ago, we came across a whole gaggle of photographers. What do you call a group of photographers? Amateur photographers? Oh, yeah, people that spend more money than they need to on the latest contraptions. But an excellent place to be able to catch up on bird life. We did see one rabbit, and they're trying to get those under control, but the evidence is that there's still plenty of them about. But the rosellas that you could see there are just fantastic. It's almost like the colours in their feathers illuminated by LEDs. They're just so bright. So highly recommend Braeside Park. And in the world of astronomy, as you all wanted to know, that the sun rises today at 07:49 and will set tonight at 17:30, 5:30 tonight, which is rather excellent. Other movements of the planets, we have got Jupiter. It rose at 11:19 this morning and it'll set at almost midnight at 23:59. Let me give you another one. Mars today rose at 7:49. It also sets at 17:30. Oh, that's going to be an interesting little situation there. And Venus whizzing around, got up at 4:31 this morning, which is much too early and much too cold for me to go and have a look at it. And it sets today at 2:25, which is almost about the time I'm doing this broadcast. Any of you that are interested in having a closer look at these things, a number of ways you can go about it. You can get your own little telescope. And Australian Geographic Store is a place to pick up one of those. I've got a little one there which is just fantastic, not motorised, very manual, but at this time of the year it's a bit cold to be outside and it takes a lot of time and effort to be able to get the planets lined up and keep them in sight. If you can afford it, I would recommend getting one of those that's programmable and motorised. That way you can keep your subject in frame and follow it for a little while. The other way I would certainly recommend anyone that gets the opportunity, if you are in Melbourne, is to go to the Melbourne Observatory, which is adjacent to the Botanical Gardens. You would have to make a booking to be able to get there, but it is just a really fantastic experience. Not only can you get to look at some of the planets, those of which are available at the time, and of course you've got to be able to pick your weather, no clouds, you don't want a full moon, and you've got to make all of those things coordinate with getting a booking and being there and being warm enough. But these telescopes are well over 100 years old and were first set up not long after settlement in Melbourne itself. One of the bigger ones was made in Ireland and shipped over here. And when you consider how they had to go about that in the days they did it, it is just a fantastic triumph of effort and work to be able to put it up. Highly recommend that as an event to do. Get in touch with the Botanical Gardens office, make a booking, get along to the Melbourne Observatory. In the world of sailing, of course, nothing much is happening down here in Victoria because of the time of the year it is. Things are happening up north with the Sunshine Coast, big regatta going on up there. But more importantly, some of our people are over in Thessaloniki in Greece, where the 470 World Championships are on. And guess what? As one would expect, we've got some Australians that have actually got some good results in the 470 men. The podium chances were a bit more clear-cut. Series leader Anton Dahlberg and Fredrik Bergstrom were guaranteed either gold or silver in a Who Dares wins first to the finish face-off with the Australians Matthew Belcher and Will Ryan. The battle for bronze was between David Bagger and Lucas Mayer and Denis Sina. It is Sina. The 470 women got off first at the 14:50 hours for their short, sharp 25-minute windward-leeward race, followed by the 470 men. Gold to Poland in the stunning delivery of performance from names I can't pronounce, and the pair finished the medal race in 7th to take their first ever World Championship medal with a 6-point margin. Oops, that's a slice. Oops, that's a hook. That's hopeless. Just on golf news, just to keep you up to date with what's going on, here's a calendar of events for what's happening in the future. From the 13th to the 16th is the US Women's Open at the, guess what, Trump National Golf Club in LA, USA. On the 17th to 22nd is the US Boys Amateurs in Kansas, USA. Gold Coast Senior Amateur event on the 19th to the 21st of July is the RACV Pines Resort Golf Club in Queensland and the Glades Golf Club in Queensland. On the 20th to the 23rd is the Open Championship, Royal Birkdale Golf Club, Southport, UK, if you want to slip across there for a quick view. 23rd to the 27th is the Queensland's Senior Women's Amateur at the Maroochy River Golf Club. Might go there and see that. 24th to the 29th, US Girls Amateur in Brook Valley, Augusta. Oh, here's one to get to. This would be fun. On the 28th to the 30th of this month, Darwin Senior Open Amateur at the Darwin Golf Course NT. And that's not too far from Darwin Sailing Club. Good place to be. Actually, nothing's very far from anywhere when you're in Darwin. And what's been happening on the world of YouTube? Poor old Fun for Louie needs a holiday. Hasn't seen Raya for a while, and they're going to have a little romantic week away. I think there's something going on between Fun for Louie and Laura, though. Some interesting shots, and she's been in frame more than what Raya has recently. And of course, Casey's been up to his usual thing, and since he's restarted vlogging, I don't think his quality has been as good. Hasn't got the interest in it, but it's still always an exciting time to watch one of his vlogs. In the world of aviation, and in a very small section of that world, a particular part of interest of mine with the Seaplane Pilots Association, a reminder that the 2017 Rathmines Catalina Festival will be up on the 29th of October. It'll be at the former RAAF base at Rathmines, New South Wales. Rathmines was the largest World War II flying boat base in the Southern Hemisphere. The Seaplane Pilots Association will again support the festival by encouraging the seaplane pilot community to attend with a variety of private and commercial aircraft. The festival encourages the construction of a museum with Catalina aircraft in a hangar at the former Rathmines RAF base. Well worth getting along, weather should be just fantastic, and it gives you an opportunity to see a lot of seaplanes all together, all at the same place, all at the same time. Check it out. 29th of October 2017. A bit of a tenuous segue, but we're talking about aircraft and heights and things. Here's some facts about vertigo. I bet you thought it was called the fear of heights. The fear of heights is acrophobia. Vertigo is a recognised medical condition. It's a type of dizziness where sufferers feel they are moving when they are in fact stationary. That happens to me a lot. Women are 2 to 3 times more likely to suffer than men, and it gets more common with age. Up to 10% of people experience some form of vertigo in their lives, so good chance you've had it and I've had it. Due to restricted time limitations I have on these early podcasts, we'll have to draw this podcast to an end. But tune in for the next episode where we've got restaurant reviews, more walking, more flying, more star things, more whatever you've talked to us about. We might even find out what a tawny frog mouth is. So come back, see you again, universalexports.co. Write and talk to me about it.